Hello, my name is S, and this is Small Artist Radar, the podcast, the very first episode. So thank you for being here. This is McKinney, singer, songwriter, gay icon, musical extraordinaire. Um, and I want to delve deep into her new album today. First of all, how are you doing today?
Thank you for having me on your first episode. An honor, truly.
I'm very excited. So let's just get started. First off, tell us where you're from.
I am from West Virginia, really small
Mhm.
town, less than 6,000 people when I lived there. But I'm currently living in Asheville, North Carolina. Couldn't
Okay,
take a
amazing.
but,
Okay, amazing. I'm in Ohio, so, like a little less
mm.
exciting. But the second question I have for you is what inspired you to pursue music?
Well, I kind of always played. My mom is a musician. She's a blues singer.
Mhm.
And she owned a music school when I was growing up that I literally lived inside. Like, we had the business out
Oh,
front and our bedrooms were in the back. So I've always played music. I joined my first band when I was 6. And I was homeschooled. So I just like completely immersed myself in music from a very young age.
that's amazing. That is so cool. Are you down for some fun questions?
Let's do it.
Okay. Who is your gay icon?
Mm. You know, this is so hard. I am big on small artists. So I
Yes.
think today I'm going to answer Maris because she's on the come up
Okay.
and she's going to be huge. And I want to be the first to say that she's going to be a gay icon.
I love that. Okay, you heard it here first. Okay, we're getting to the juicy stuff. What was it like opening for Amelia Day?
Mm,
How was that whole experience? How is she in real life? Please tell us.
a gem. So sweet.
Yeah,
Literally, like, it felt like, when you just meet people and you're like, wait, we're immediately friends because they're
yeah,
just so kind and like welcoming. They were like that. Their whole band, very sweet. Um, I truly just like we hit it off immediately and also was, like a little starstruck because I'm like, I've been following you forever. I've watched your
yeah.
career grow. Like your touring schedule is insane. Like just so impressive the way that they are just constantly on the road playing show after show. Um, and I didn't realize how young they are, which did make me feel a little bit. Like I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're extremely impressive as an artist, obviously. They're extremely talented writer,
Yeah.
performer, voice is incredible. Um, and I was really like I'm super tapped into like gay tea.
hmm
And so
What?
like I'm following them and their partner and like I'm like I've been watching behind the scenes of a little breakup and like speculating that their songs were about each other. And so that was really
Yep.
fun for me to like like I'm so nosy.
Absolutely.
Are you gonna play your breakup? So
Absolutely. I know there was a breakup recently, and it was a little crazy. So that sounds insane. Was that like an I made it moment? Yeah, that's insane. All right. Continuing with the juicy questions, what is your dream blunt rotation musical artist only?
I'm gonna have to put Renee Rapp on there
Yes,
because
absolutely.
she's so funny. She's
Yeah.
so funny. I know we'd have a good time. Um, let's see. Can I throw in J. Cole?
Yes,
Just because I think like he'd keep the vibes good, you know.
absolutely. I see. Yeah.
And I have some questions for him.
Yep.
Uh,
Oh
this is
my gosh! What a beautiful cat.
who would you
Aw.
put in invitation? Let's see. First person that comes to mind. Come on, think, think, think. I tried not to like dig too deep beforehand because I wanted to just see what would come out of my mouth.
Absolutely.
Okay, come on. One more.
Does it help
Um,
if I say they can be dead or alive? These
Dead
can be
or
past
alive?
tense. Yeah. Why not?
That's a good point. Can we throw in Stevie Wonder?
We can throw in Stevie Wonder. Okay,
Um,
let's
let's
do
do
one
it.
more.
One
One more?
more? Okay. I'm gonna do a do you think Esperanza Spalding smokes?
No.
Is the question, because I don't want to like force her into my smoke circle, but if she's into it, I would love that. She's my favorite bass player ever.
Okay. All right.
So
Amazing. Let's say she's in.
sorry, we're going to Roller Parks.
Okay. Okay.
Done.
That sounds like a pretty good Dream Blunt rotation. Are you ready to start talking about your music?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. I am so excited. All right. What inspired your debut album Bones, and why was it Helene?
Yeah, yeah. A lot of the songs did come out of the storm. I mean, it was such a traumatic experience, and for a long time, it was literally all I could write about. Like, I just
Yeah.
kept trying to like intentionally sit down and be like, I want to write something that's not about Helene, and then it would somehow tie back to it. So
Yeah.
that's the songs that I mean. Obviously, Roadside Drive came
Yep.
from it. Broken Record came from that one. Guilty started as a hurricane song, um, and then it like obviously turned into something more,
Yeah.
but it was like that was in mind when I started writing it. What else came out of there? But yeah, it like a lot of it was about my experience with that. Some of the songs are really old. Some of them came
Yeah.
pre-Helene, um, and have been things that I've been working on for years.
Yeah.
But
It just seems like it's like a constant presence in the album where you're kind of like, ooh, you know what I mean? That's at least the
mhm,
vibe I got. So that's why I asked that question. Um, my next one is your music is such a great mix of like pop, R&B, rock, like some soul. How did you find your unique sound? Did it take you a while or did it come very naturally? Like, what was that journey?
I think I'm still discovering what my sound is supposed to be. I think a lot of
Yeah,
times I was worried when I was putting out this album because there it does feel like it flops between so many genres, and I'm like, is this gonna make sense? Is it gonna feel
yeah,
like an album? Um, but I can't decide on one genre of music. You know, I'm inspired by so many.
yeah.
My mom obviously, um, being a blues singer, I grew up on a lot of that,
Hmm.
and that's a huge influence for me. I'm getting my BFA in jazz.
Oh, that's
So
incredible. Wow.
yeah, I graduate in May. I'm so excited.
Oh, that's
It only took
amazing.
a year.
Congrats early.
Thank you.
Yeah. Um,
And then I grew up on a lot of classic rock,
yeah,
played in a lot of cover bands, doing
yeah.
that. So it all sneaks in a little bit. I just call it like pop adjacent. You know, like I'm
Pop
making pop.
adjacent. That's fair. Yeah. I just
Yeah.
want to say, I think it really, the sonic, like, soundscape of the whole album, it all ties in very nicely to me. I really, really enjoy how many different genres you kind of dive into. But it all kind of sounds connected by that pop adjacent sound. So I think that's a great way of describing it. Um, we're gonna talk about
Good.
my favorite song. Literally, that's maybe like of this past like couple months because it has been my top listened to song for the past 2 months, I think. I don't want to die, so why do I feel guilty? I'm alive is a line from the song Guilty. And it is such a pertinent question right now. Was the lyric inspired by current world events, your personal life, both? What does that line mean to you?
It started as a survivor's guilt song from the hurricane. You know, I was very like, I think a lot of people experience that feeling where it's like when you go through something like that, you feel guilty when things start going well for you again.
Yeah,
Like you're like so many people, you're watching so many people suffer, and you're like doing
yeah,
everything you can to help, but like you just can't like shake this feeling of like why do I get to be okay? You know, like why is my house standing? Why do I not have a tree inside my house right now? You know, like it just like feeling guilt and then trying to like ease that with going into the community and helping out, but it just doesn't really work. But then,
yeah.
you know, like I don't know, it just sticks with you, that type of but that's also just like a general I'm just a guilty person, like constantly I'm always feeling like I'm not doing enough.
Yeah.
And like the more that's going on in the world, obviously, that it just feels like we have no control over, the harder
Hmm.
that becomes. Um,
Absolutely.
and then I think I wrote it as like a, like one, take a breath, like chill out.
Yeah.
And also like to remind myself how important the small things are. And that
Yeah.
like when I like the things that I do matter, even if I don't see it immediately making the change that I want it to.
Absolutely. I genuinely can't hype up this song enough for anyone watching. It is so amazing. Um, my next question is about, so your album is very harmonically rich, Losing in Love specifically. It has kind of like this Elton John-esque like kind of outro, like the bridge, like outro section. I think it's the bridge would be the correct term. Does like this really really interesting harmonically. Was the 70s of this song and the following song Runaway for any specific reason? Did you want to really give the 70s vibe for those two songs, or did that kind of just happen naturally?
I am a huge fan of like funk soul era of the 70s, and
Yeah.
I listened to a lot of music that came out of that era, so I could definitely see how like consuming so much of that would then influence what I write. Not intentionally, I wasn't thinking about that when I was
Okay.
making the songs, but I'm glad that comes through that way.
It does come through. Do you know Who Believes in Angels, the Elton John and Brandy Carlisle song?
Oh, yes,
Yeah, it gives
of course.
very similar vibes to that for me. Especially Losing in Love. Like the bridge section where you're just going higher and higher, it gives that like sort of the chorus of Who Believes in Angels to me. I really like it a lot.
Being the more artists you talk about, the more I wish I could go back and change my blend rotation.
Oh my gosh, maybe we can circle back. If we have time, maybe we'll circle back at the end of this little podcast. Okay. So the more I listen to Bones, the more I started thinking of it as like exploring the stages of grief. It's like Don't You Babe kind of being this stage of like snarky anger that leads very nicely into the bargaining stage of We're the Same. Was this intentional? Did you think about the stages of grief when you were thinking about how you ordered the album? Like what order the songs were in? Were you thinking about the stages of grief at all, or no?
Oh, but I love that.
Yeah,
I was really paying attention to how the song started and ended. So the reason I like started with Guilty and ended with Casually is because I just think that like sonically coming out of Casually into that intro just sounded really good. Like I
yeah,
thought it made that one feel like a loop. So that was like this has to happen. Those were like my this is the beginning, this is the
the
end.
book
I'm
ends.
stuck.
Yeah, yeah,
And in between, I was really just trying to make it so that I feel like I wanted the top to be like, let's hit every single genre that you're gonna hear throughout this album immediately.
yeah,
Like let's get a ride, like let's start with the pop, immediately drag it down to the sad stuff because I thought that would feel really dramatic,
yeah.
and then get a little bit of the rock so that you know
Mhm.
what you're gonna get from this album, 3 songs deep.
Yeah.
Um, and then beyond that, I was just like, let's try to make it sound good.
I think it really flows very well storytelling wise. So I wondered if it was more if your ordering of it was more from a sonic perspective or storytelling, but it sounds like it was mostly kind of sonic, which
Mm-hmm.
is really cool because it does flow very well storytelling wise. So that's amazing. So
Good. Yeah, totally.
yeah, Riverside Drive was the last single for this album, and it has a very particular melancholy hollowness. I think we've already talked about this, but what was the inspiration for the song? We haven't talked about what was the inspiration for the soundscape of this specific ambient song.
Oh yeah. I recorded this one really quickly because I wrote it literally days after the storm. It
Yeah,
was like pretty immediately that this song came to me. And I was like, I need to get this out right now. It has to happen. And so I went to this little studio at my job, and I had never recorded anything at this point, like not on this level. I had like
yeah,
messed around in my bedroom or whatever. But then so I called my friend, who has like a little bit more understanding of like production, and I was like, please help me with this.
Yeah.
Um, and we had no idea what it was going to sound like going into it. Like I was like, let's just get there, let's do something.
Yeah.
Um, and so a lot of like I just started with the acoustic guitar, like how I was writing it. And then I was like, I just want you to make this feel painful.
I think
And
that comes across very well.
um
Yes, I
Eli he's on a lot of my tunes, and he's just like
yeah.
an incredible musician, and he came in and added all those like beautiful guitar textures and that little like thumb piano that we just found sitting around.
Yeah.
And then he had this like voice memo of where he was sitting by the river. I was like, put that in there, that's beautiful.
No, I love that. I love that so much. So
Yeah.
that's really cool. Man, that's a really cool story because you would have thought it was thought about and planned out for like a year before you sat down and recorded it because it sounds very intentional. But that's really amazing. All right, I have a question about the what I refer to as the Act One closer. I'm tired. I kind of think I'm a very theatery person. I think of things as like this is Act One of the album, this is Act Two. I'm tired is so angry, and I love the line. I don't blame my trauma. I treat it with marijuana. And did you think of this as sort of finishing off a half of the album and starting a new kind of emotional like palette, or did you not think too much about the act one act two thing? I'm not sure if that's just a me thing, so what did you think?
I hear you. No, I did find the first half, like those songs are very tied together
Yeah.
lyrically. And I did like when I was putting them together, I was like, these make sense together.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but the Act One is cool. The end of Act One. Oh, that's very cool. It wasn't like super intentional in the thought of like feelings and emotions like that. It definitely was more sonically, like discussed earlier. Um,
Yeah,
but I'm Tired and Guilty are like sister songs to
I
me.
I can very
So
much see that. Yeah, that makes sense.
it does
I
track
love
that
this
that would be.
song. I love this song, but not as much as I love Maybe to You, because Maybe to You is so incredible. And if I'm correct, it's like maybe the heart of the album, like emotionally, like it is the most emotionally raw song. You say we're just friends, Maybe to You is a gorgeous line. What does the song mean to you? And is it hard to perform or listen to? Because it is so emotionally raw and real.
It's not I don't have a hard time with it because I feel so disconnected from that version of myself.
Yeah.
That song. So it doesn't feel true anymore.
Hmm.
It doesn't as much feel like I love that song so much because I feel like it was the start of this new sound that I've created.
Yeah.
Like anything that I wrote or had put out before that, which I don't have a ton of my old stuff on my Spotify anymore, but I have like maybe like one or two songs from like pre the Maybe to You era. But I feel like
Yeah.
it really was the beginning of this like pop sound that I have now. And like everything after that has kind of been created off the sound of Maybe to You.
That's really
Um,
cool. Wow.
First time I worked with Ted, who has produced almost everything on the album and is just like one of
Mhm.
my favorite people to work with. So it is like it was a it if people like are ever like looking back for my first song, that was like the start of my like that's the
Yeah.
one.
It was also, yeah, it was the first single back in 2023 for this album. It's a really incredible song. I love the Phoebe Bridgers shout out. The
Yeah.
first time I listened to that, I was like, Phoebe! So it was very cool. I love that song
Yeah.
so much. So the melody of Broken Record is very addicting. Was it inspired by old school artists like David Bowie or more new artists like Brandi Carlile? Because I can definitely hear influences of both.
Hmm.
What was the melody and the sonic soundscape inspired by for that song?
Yeah. That one was a co-write with
Hmm.
a artist that I play bass for in their project, Andrew Scratchy, who's featured on the song, and
Hmm.
he had come in with this guitar part. and like a verse melody, and I was like, oh yeah, that's really cool. And then I took it from there and wrote all the words, and then like that chorus melody. And it is very inspired by his style. Like he is very like he lives in that rock world.
Yeah.
And so it does come, it started as his song. Um, I think that he leans more into that like good old like rock and roll, like that.
Yeah,
So definitely
absolutely.
inspired by his.
Okay, that's really interesting. Um, and then all the R&B influences on your album finally explode with Get Out of My Head. It is extremely impressive vocally. What does your vocal training look like? I think we've already touched on this a little bit. Did your mom really help you out vocally a lot? Did you take lessons growing up? What was the vocals like for this specific song?
Yeah, my mom actually wrote this song originally.
Oh.
It was a song that she used to play for me all the time when she was a kid, and I
Hmm.
loved it. And we call it like we say that she sings a lot of man hating songs, and that's why I'm gay. Um,
That's hilarious.
she had
Like,
wrote
but
that
I'm a
one.
cheerleader. That's your root. So funny.
Yeah, she used to sing that one a lot when I was growing up, and she was working on an
Yeah.
album, and she had recorded that for her album. And then she was like, "I don't think I'm gonna put it out," and I was like, "That's literally insane. Give me that song right now." I stole it from her, and I took it to Ted. Added more of the like pop R&B elements that you're
Yeah.
hearing. And then I wrote some of my own verses to make it feel more me.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, it's very much
I I
it's
love
for
it. That is so cool. And like the familial connection there is amazing. Thank you for sharing that. That's awesome. Then we finally made it to the very end of the album, Casually, which was the third single, and it is a beautiful conclusion. Finding new love, this like tentative piece, has an absolute banger piano part. So my question is, who are your pop piano icons, or rock piano icons?
I was a big Adele kid, like
Yeah.
as everyone was. Like who doesn't love her?
Hmm.
I'm really big on Lawrence right now. Like I listen
Lawrence
to
is, I just saw them. They're fantastic. Yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
Lots of Couch, lots of Melt.
Hmm.
I feel like they have really piano heavy music sometimes. Like both of them have insane keyboard players in their bands. Um, I don't know if I call it piano, but you know what I mean.
Absolutely.
Let's see. Oh, who else? I'm trying to think of like things that would have inspired me younger in my younger days. Come on, be brave. Lots of Bill Withers in my life.
Yes.
And of course
That's
Stevie
really
Wonder that we talked about earlier.
absolutely, absolutely. All right, so we've covered every song on the album. So what's next for you after such a poignant and raw first album? After such a banger debut album, what's next?
Who knows? Who's to say?
So real.
I think I just like go day by day and I
Yeah.
try to figure it out in a way that like makes me feel good about creating stuff and also still makes me money.
Yeah,
I've
absolutely.
I've got some fun shows coming up that I'm stoked about. Doing my
That's the
album
next thing I was going to ask you. What are your upcoming shows? What is your social media handle? Where can we find you?
release. McKinney Music on Instagram, which is where I'm most active about sharing my shows and like anything fun upcoming. And then McKinney Music 22 on TikTok, which is
Mhm.
where you can follow me if you want to see me be annoying. McKinneymusic.net for
Okay,
people that don't use social media.
amazing. Okay, cool.
Yeah, next
And
show
then,
is my album release show.
oh, your audio just cut out. Oh, it's back. It's back.
It's like recording from my phone, I think.
Oh, so strange. Huh. Well, we
That's
can
a
always look at your Instagram for your shows, or
good
we'll
jokes.
figure it out. We'll figure it out. But my last question is, let's circle back. Dream Blunt rotation, musical artists only.
Keeping Renee Rapp.
Okay.
We're gonna add Brandy Carlisle.
Yes, amazing.
We're gonna keep Stevie Wonder and J.
Mhm.
Cole. We're gonna have a table, a really large table.
Okay, wonderful. Love it.
I think we might throw in Gracie Lawrence to be
Okay,
funny. What a
love
cool girl.
that.
Maybe we're gonna. Can I have a 10 top? No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my gosh.
Who's to say? Who's to say? I think that like anybody who wants to smoke and chat music with me, I'm in.
Okay, amazing. Well, thank you so much for doing this today. Everyone go listen to McKinney. Her music is truly amazing. I'm hoping that I'm playing some of it in the background right now. But thank you so much and can't wait to see everything you do.
Thank you. You as well.
All right. Have a great day. Bye.